down tonight from Avignon, France against Great Britain. A test match important not only in its own right, but also as a pointer to Britain's chances in Australia in the summer. Only 5 survivors in the French team from the one crashed 52-4 at Headingley last year, but coach Jacques Jourdain has worked hard to put things right. 3 new caps for Great Britain: Paul Loughlin in the centre, Martin Offiah on the left wing, and the only second division man here, Hugh Waddell of Oldham. And in the second row, Roy Powell partners his Leeds colleague Paul Medley. Our commentary team, David Watkins, and first, John Helve.
Thank you, Nick, and it's one of those new boys, Paul Loughlin, who gets the game underway with that kick, which will be picked up by the French captain, Hugh Ratier. Good early run for him, as all wingers like. And already the whistle from the referee, Neville Keisha from New Zealand. Well, referees traditionally have a hard time over here, but David Watkins, it's a nervous time for all those new caps.
It most certainly is. Playing in France is difficult anyway. They have this continental approach, one would say. They're a little bit ratty to start off with. And it's a good opportunity for some of these players to really settle down against opposition on away territory.
Well, the French has always loved to run the ball around, but that looked like a knock-on there in the first instance. And indeed the whistle has gone. And that's typically French throwing the ball about. They do tend to make a lot of mistakes. So Shaun Edwards with the put-in. So this is Great Britain's chance early on. And the first run is from Waddell, who's had a tremendous season with Oldham. Edwards, Powell. So the early pressure all from Great Britain. Kevin Beardmore here, who scored his first international try, of course, in Carcassonne last year. All the way through for Andy Platt. But it's a useful position for Britain to be in, and Edwards will try and work something a bit different here. Hanley to Schofield, but he's collared straight away. Good tackle from David Frace, the Le Pontet man. But Hanley with a little kick to touch. It's a good one. And that's encouraging for Great Britain.
Yes, it's important that we have a good start in France. It's important now, obviously, for the success of the tour that we have a good start as well. And it gives the players an opportunity to settle down. Scoring in France early is a must as far as Great Britain are concerned, because it does help considerably to settle down the nerves, especially of the new players.
Again, it'll be Edwards with the put-in, and it's out on the Great Britain side. So good work from Kevin Beardmore, and Ellery Hanley so close here now, just a yard away from that French line. Drummond spun that ball away to Waddell. Oh, and he's done well too, getting it away once more. Powell, and that wasn't a good pass from Roy Powell to his Leeds colleague Schofield. And that wasn't too impressive either. So mistakes on both sides, and that shows the nerves.
Well, it does show the nerves, and what Great Britain have to do is settle down quickly, because mistakes like that against the side in Australia could have alarming effects.
The French scrum half is Gilles Dumas, who's played at full-back and on the wing for his country. But it's very much one of the key figures in Jourdain's plans, and this time the French heel it. Stand-off half is Dominique Espugnat from Lesignan. Now Dumas. And Ayer, the big prop forward, whose father was a cornerstone of the French national team for many years. Good catch, Hampson. That was crucial for him. Always important for a fullback to get a catch like that under his belt.
Well, Steve is a good player. He's performed well for Wigan this year, and one thing about him, he does field the ball well under pressure, and no doubt in a Great Britain side, you're subjected to a lot of pressure, especially against good sides at international level.
Kevin Ward, first time we've seen him in the action. Now Hanley. But, barged off the ball that time, which allowed France possession through Jacques Molinaire. Spooned out by Delaunay. And the French really are desperate for a win against Great Britain. Seems an eternity to them since they beat us. Oh, that's better. This is good. This is Delaunay. And again, Hampson bravely down on it. And that is the problem with the French. They spurned a good opportunity. Afaya gets his first run. Conditions here in Avignon quite excellent today. The pitch is in fine condition, and the weather much warmer than many people anticipated. But Schofield's off on a run here. He's got Drummond outside him. Des Drummond going down the touchline. He's herring for that line, and he's going to make it as well. That's a sensational start for Great Britain, and Des Drummond is in his 8th international try, and what a fillip for the team.
Well, that was a marvellous try, and that's just the sort of thing Great Britain wanted. I mean, at the time when it's early on in the game, Hanley moves the ball quickly, and Schofield with his sheer speed takes the man outside him and puts Drummond away, and Drummond really puts his head back, doesn't he, and really sprints away from all the French opposition. That's an excellent try and a marvellous start to Great Britain's international here in France. Superb finish in that, just the thing Great Britain need.
It was in fact a classic winger's try, and Paul Loughlin will be pleased with that as well, because he's popped over his first goal. So Great Britain leading then by 6 points to 0. So France here, very keen to get back into this game. This is Espugnard, super break from Espugnard, and has he got the support? Oh, he couldn't quite take it, Dumas. But Espugnard showing there what a sprightly character he can be, and he saw the break and went for it.
Yes, him and Dumas at number 7, the scrum half of France here, they're doing particularly well, and France need good half-backs because they have this player for running the ball, and it's nice to see France trying at every opportunity to do just that.
Well won again by Kevin Beardmore. He's so crucial here to British hopes today. Britain must have the ball. And Edwards turning this way and that. Waddell. Missed out Kevin Ward that time. And the tackle was a little bit high, perhaps, on Paul Medley. But, was unpunished. So the kick from Loughlin giving relief to Great Britain. But that's a good catch by Peugeot. Ponce. Now Ayer. Oh, well played from Ayer as well. That was a lovely ball that he managed to get away in the tackle there. And this is good running as well from the second row man, Modeste. And a try perhaps here. Delaunay's just pegged back. And a crucial tackle, but there again the French showing that on attack they will take some stopping.
Well, they back up quite well, and I mean, Great Britain have to sort out their defensive problems. They allowed the man then to get rid of the ball too easily, and as a result of that, it was only a last-minute tackle by Afaya then that prevented a try.
And again, close to their own try line, the British have healed the scrum importantly. So Kevin Beardmore's done a very good job for his side. Roy Powell puts his head down, barges one off, tries to barge away the prop forward, Ayer. Edwards will kick. And, bounced awkwardly for Raftier. A good little kick, though, from Edwards. Nice idea.
Well, that's one of the nice things, because the Australian grounds are going to be hard anyway, and it's the ideal opportunity to use these international matches really as a practice situation. I know we can't say that at international and national level to practice, but I mean, it is important. The grounds are going to be hard, and little kicks like that can and do bounce everywhere.
But they'll have to be careful here. The French, with loose forward Molinaire, making inroads through the middle. Oh, and that was careless. And that wasn't too good either. It does seem strange, David, doesn't it, that while the French Rugby Union is doing so well at the moment, the Rugby League players seem to find it hard to get it right.
That's right. I think the difficulty in France at the moment is knowing who the real professionals are. The amateur side, that's the Rugby Union side, are having all the perks out of rugby football in France, and as a result of it, they most certainly are the senior side. And Rugby League is very much a secondary sport, and that's the lack of success that France have had over the last 10 or 15 years.
Well, talking of professionals, this fella certainly is one, Edwards, and so is Medley, who took that on the charge. But a fine tackle by Espugnat. But Britain always look lively when Edwards has the ball. Oh, Laughlin taken around the neck, but it was a good tackle, perfectly fair that time. He certainly felt that, did the St Helens man. Edwards will kick. Oh, and it came off a French boot. But Laughlin, meanwhile, will have to have some treatment. So Shaun Edwards again will have the opportunity to put this ball into the scrum. Laughlin's okay. And again, Beardmore wins the scrum. Crowd didn't like it. Hanley's away. A fire coming side as well. Got an appetite for work, but that was sloppy from Great Britain, as a result of which Ponce has picked it up for France. Brace looks eager to get on with things. This is Montgaillard. Desi Drummond showing that he's not just a good offensive player, but not a bad defender too.
That's right, but I do honestly think when Ellery Hanley plays a standoff half, whilst I appreciate how great a player he is, he must stop running across the field. If he's going to pass to his centre, he must pass it to him so that he's running forward and not crossing crabwise across the field, because that's the sort of thing that the Australians will knock us down and find that we are rather lax at the back and they could run away and score tries.
It's a first opportunity for France to put points behind their name. Penalty awarded there, and Gilles Dumas has the sort of kick which he relishes. He likes this sort of angle. Down the years of Great Britain have conceded many penalties in France, sometimes due to refereeing decisions which appeared a little bit dubious. But we won't say that about that one. Here he comes, and up go the flags. The ball went high in the air, and France are on the scoreboard.
Yes, that was a good kick, no doubt at all about that, straight between the uprights. An important one as well as France are concerned, to make Great Britain assure that they are still there.
Straight back in the action with Paul Medley. Platt. Waddell. And again, he managed to get that ball away in the tackle. It's been quite a useful start from Waddell.
Oh, he does very well. I mean, that's one of the best parts of his game. And if people run straight off him, which I'm sure Roy, Powell and Medley will do, when they get used to each other, that'll be very important.
Hanley. Edwards chance. Oh dear, this time Drummond's hands weren't so good. And that was a wasted opportunity. But generally, Britain have enjoyed the greater share of the ball in the attack. The crowd there behind the scrum, no doubt desperate for a French win here in Avignon. Oh, what a mistake that one was, and Schofield, as ever, was on like a whippet. And Laughlin, Offiah, and, he's not got a lot of room, Martin Offiah, but that again summed up the French, really.
That's right, yes. I think we are backing up well, and that's important now, that people are there all the time, and this is part of teamwork, which is something that the Great Britain manager will be very proud of when people do back up and drop on loose balls and pick up loose balls.
That was like a hot potato there. Nobody seemed to want it. So just those few yards out from the French line. This could be a really good scrum for Beardmore to win. In it goes, and out it comes. Beardmore's done his job once more. No way through into the corner. Offiah will be the first man here to receive from Platt. Farming it out. Edwards, this looks promising. Hanley along the line. Hanley's in the move twice. Now Schofield. Gary Schofield going the ball. Hampsonsma up in support, and Schofield's in for the try. Gary Schofield, he always seems to be there, but good work as well from Steve Hampson and from Ellery Hanley.
That's right, and notice how quickly they pass the ball here. The ball comes out very quickly, and that's important. Instead of running with it, he does the loop, and he's very strong, and Schofield does start now to straighten up the line. And there's good backing up. Watch, when Hampson is hemmed in at the corner, he flops it back inside, and Gary, as always, alert to it. An excellent try.
It's amazing how Schofield has this capacity for being in the right place. And can Laughlin tag on 2 more points? The answer to that is no. Right across the face. And Great Britain now leading by 10 points to 2. Here's Waddell. So his Oldham teammates will be well pleased for him, the way he's done. Here's Roy Powell of Leeds, and again, he's such a rangy player, Powell, that even when he's hauled back, he still manages to make about 10 yards.
Yes, he's very underrated. He does an awful lot of good work as well. He always beats his man, and he takes the ball forward with him, and that's good.
Edwards. Now Drummond, and Edwards again once more, coming inside now, and support from Hanley, who takes the pass. But the fullback and the hooker together there, Kedemi and Peugeot, bringing Hanley to ground. Well, I thought that the Britain pack might have missed the likes of Andy Goodway today, but that's not been the case. And here's Kevin Ward, yards from the line. It won't count. It won't count. The referee has ruled a forward pass there to Gary Schofield, but again, he was there at the shoulder.
That's right. It is important that when Great Britain do run onto the ball, they run onto it straight, because once they do, they start breaking the defence. Ward goes through here by going straight again. Terribly important, and Schofield is ever alert to it.
And the French here, only 10-15 yards out, and it's the big prop man Ayer, and it's picked up once more by Dumas. And nothing wrong with that, so a chance here for France. Just before half-time. Oh, and it slipped away into the hands of Des Drummond, but the whistle had already gone, and look how Frace wants to get that ball back. He's desperate for it. And in fact, the penalty has been awarded. Hello. Des Drummond and Ayer, not exactly the best of pals at the moment. But, the penalty had been awarded, and the referee, Mr. Keisha, is just explaining to Ellery Hanley what it was all about. Before he takes the kick at goal, Gilles Dumas has to have the magic sponge.
Yes, I think we have to be very careful with our discipline as well. I mean, there was really no need. I know Des was pushed perhaps then, and he tried to grab the ball off him rather quickly, reluctant to give it away, but these things are important. International football does hinge sometimes on mistakes, so the discipline of the side is most important, and it's best to walk away from those situations.
And yes, it's through the middle again. 10-4 it is then in Great Britain's favour, 3 minutes from half-time. So any more points before the hooter? Well, Hanley and Hampson are trying to make sure there are. Hampson, the Wigan man, he was so eager when he gets to within a few yards of that line. Schofield once more, Hanley's there once more, he's wriggling his way through. Chances now, Beardmore, Waddell, it'd be nice for him to score, but he's hauled back. literally within a couple of strides of the line. Kevin Ward now, and he's gone like a bulldozer once today. And again they're spinning that ball along, and Schofield, Gary Schofield, one try already, trying to get his second. Oh, and beautifully reversed slip pass there. Roy Powell, Hampson coming up in support, he couldn't get it away to him, does now. Andy Platt, there's no way through for him. This is good defending from the French, who must be desperate for that half-time hooter. Schofield attempting to chip through, Beardmore won't quite get there, and well, they're living dangerously.
Yes, that was good pressure by Great Britain, running straight, running hard. Puts a lot of pressure on the French defence, but to a man, they most certainly stood up to it all.
So coming up, in fact, that is the half-time hooter gone. And the scoreline here in Avignon, France 4, Great Britain 10. And it's just the sort of start that Malcolm really wanted, but he'll have to build on that in the second half. But 10-4 it is, with just the tries from Des Drummond and Gary Schofield. Things looking promising though. Join us again for the second half. Avignon with Gilles Dumas kicking off. And out here, it'll be Des Drummond to field it. Oh, and to spill it as well. So not a good start to the second half from the Warrington man. And this will give early encouragement to France.
It will. They've passed the ball well, and they haven't folded away as most French sides have done in the last 5 or 6 years. And that's good for the game.
Yes, I think there's been a general feeling that World Rugby could do with the French to be rather better than they've been for the last 2 or 3 years. Anyway, they have a chance here. Espouniard, and this is good running as well from the loose forward Molinaire from Villeneuve. Again Dumas, and prop forward the new man Tisser, and a try for Verdes, and that is encouragement indeed for France. The initial inroads made by the prop forward Tisser on his first appearance, and the try from Verdes.
Yes, it was good movement this by France. It was good backing up here, again running straight, shrugging off Sean Edwards' tackle and pushing the ball inside, and that's an excellent try. Do France a lot of good, that will, and it really has come at a bad time for Great Britain just off the kick-off when they seem to be settling down.
Yes, now the Malcolm Reilly's team will have to call on their reserves of character, but oh, dear me, what a miss. So Monsieur Dumas will not be popular back there when he gets to meet up with his colleagues. Edwards and Hanley played well in harness. So we've not seen them in the best attacking guys as yet. So a penalty's been awarded here to Great Britain. Needless to say, the Avignon crowd don't quite agree with Mr. Keisha. And Ellery Hanley sensibly, I think, here electing to kick at goal, or for Loughlin to kick at goal.
Yes, most certainly they're in an attacking position. If the goal goes over, of course, they've got 2 points, which is very important. But failing that, of course, if it goes dead, at least Great Britain will have the ball back in an attacking position.
And Loughlin doesn't miss. It's his second goal, and that indeed is encouragement for him. 12-8 now, Great Britain in the lead. Waddell. Well, he's certainly not let the side down on his first appearance, the second division man from Oldham. Our Fire, not seen a great deal of him, he's not had any real running chances. Oh, and that's good play. It was Platt who's got Schofield moving. Kevin Ward inside here. Oh, and an essential tackle pulled off by Cyril Ponce. Kevin Ward takes some halting in his tracks. Schofield again. Edwards. The ball's moving around now, all right. Hanley. Oh, and he was certainly taken by the head that time. And that's acknowledged as well by Guy Delaunay. And now it's the French who are giving penalties away.
Yes, that's one thing about the French play. They do tend to be reckless in tackles, and that was no exception. and rightfully penalised him for it. And another important kick, because every 2 points on the board obviously has taken us further away from the French score.
Well, Loughlin this season, 5 tries and 54 goals for St Helens, and here attempting his 3rd successful kick on his first appearance for Great Britain. Well, it was a pretty straight kick, and that is one that won't please Paul Loughlin. Waddell again. He started out as a soccer player, Waddell. Also, he's a useful golfer, I'm told, but has made great strides since he left Blackpool Borough for Oldham. Medley feeling the full force of Mathieu Kedimi. Edwards again using the kick as a ploy, and once more well taken by Jean-Philippe Pougeot. Oh, that's very poor play. That was indiscipline. And Dumas had to go a long way back to pick up the ball. Now the son Gaudin's man back to substitute BNS, one of his club colleagues. Ayer, nicely done, and good support as well, and then Espuña spoiled it all by dropping the ball.
Yes, that was very unlucky. But I do think that Great Britain must, in order to have more punch up front, they must come on. Waddell is taking the ball in, and I do honestly believe that we aren't backing him up enough, and perhaps it's the second row forwards, and Andy Platt in particular, must come close to him there to carry on these movements.
Hanley now, and Hampson's come up once more into the line. Nothing wrong with his performance. Hanley, again, this is better from Ellery. Hanley, oh, this is where he's so swift, and Hanley's going all the way for that line. He can't quite get there, though. Hauled back by Ratier. Still the chance is there. Well, I thought for all the world that Ellery Hanley was a scorer then.
Yes, I think that was a chance lost then, really. I think we should have scored off that.
And once more Hanley. Again, he's taken by the ankles by BNS. I really did think that Hanley was going to add to his 12 Great Britain tries. Oh, that's again not a very clever play by the French, but they've got the ball. Rather fortuitously, it would have been a bad place for him to lose it. Powell was always doing a great tackling stint. Support Kedimi, and this is good running from Verdes, and chances here for France. Oh, and a very fine tackle indeed by Des Drummond. But, the crowd really responding to this now and trying to stir this French team up into another try. Last tackle. Well, that's really got them cheering. And the horns are going now, and the kick through. Oh, they'll have 6 more tackles. Definitely ball back. And coach Jourdain, how he'd love his side to get another try psychologically here now. They're trying to work that ball away, and coming inside, Ratier, who's a good runner. Delaunay, oh, given away once more, just when they needed to keep the possession.
Well, the French team are playing much more compact than Great Britain. Their forwards are closer together, they're running straighter and harder. And I think we must learn from that, because we're leaving far too many holes in defences, and there's 2 and 3 people going for one man, when really we should have a better method.
Schofield, such determination on his face. For Dumas. Turpin. Now Edwards, the little chip ahead from the Wigan scrum half. The ball bounced kindly for him. Affire's calling for it. And Martin Affier, if he can take this one, he's going to score his first international try. Martin Affier in the corner. Well, it's the try for Affier, but a great deal of credit as well there to Shaun Edwards.
Yes, Shaun Edwards is playing with much more punch now. He's been since the Manly game when they brought the world champions over. He's played much better. He's got a little more confidence. He's running straighter now as well, and that was a superb chip ahead. Took the ball, ran, straightened up here, and Affier, alert as a wing should be, finishes it off with a marvellous run. That'll do him the power of good.
Yes, it's a marvellous moment for Martin Offiah, adding to the 24 tries he's scored already this season. And the kick from touch, up go the flags as well. And that's a really super kick. And so Great Britain now moving 18-8 into the lead from that Laughlin goal. And once more, the whistle has gone. And there's Drummond describing his French opposite number there in a way that I don't think we should be hearing. Again, Laughlin is called across by Ellery Hanley. And once more, yes, he elects to kick for goal. And well, long exchange of words between Hanley and the referee, and indeed no, Laughlin's changed his mind. And of course, if Britain could get another try here, they would take the game way out of France's grasp.
And that's really what they must be looking for, because these French sides have a habit of coming back into the game and scoring tries. It always makes it difficult. You become nervous and you start making more mistakes than you normally used to.
Coming through on the inside there was the substitute Paul Dixon. Edwards looking inside for Kevin Ward, and he'll get the ball out. And a little bit unfortunate that time, Great Britain, but in any event, the referee has called a scrum.
I think we must build on that. When Ward goes through in situations like that, really, it does need another forward close to him to take the ball off him. He stood there far too long holding the ball out for other people, and of course it got knocked down as it did then, resulting in a scrum.
More treatment being administered here, and it's a painful way for him to leave the field. That is Delaunay. So important for the French. They win it, and they do, and that was better for them. Oh, and that's tremendous running. Oh, this is great stuff. And marvellous determination. The French really there. Once more, it was that standoff half Espugnat who made all of 50 yards. But there was nobody with him. And still they're coming. And they've certainly been an adventurous enough side today. It's just that they've made too many mistakes. However, they're very much on the attack at the moment. They're trying to get that ball out right. And it's requiring some good British tackling here to keep them at bay. That was Peugeot in. Once more is Molinaire. It's gone to ground though. And, well, you can see how Dumas is holding his hands to his head, and a penalty conceded, and it really must be aggravating for the French skipper to see them in such a good position and then throw it all away.
That's right, the halfbacks are playing well, as is the front three forwards, and that's important. And Molinaire, loose forward as well, is backing them up all the time, and that's good for this French team, because they are playing with a little more flair, what one has come to expect from French teams of the past.
Again, Waddell, he stayed the pace well. Six more tackles. And Paul Dixon. Well, the Halifax man is an excellent foraging forward. The St Helens found to their cost at Wembley in the Challenge Cup final last year. Ellery Hanley always looks for that gap down the middle. Platt couldn't take the pass. So France in possession once more through substitute BNS. Dumas, they need to move this one quickly now. Ayer is in possession, and he's got support this time from his fellow prop forward Tisser. Tisser playing it to himself. So Britain have certainly had to do their share of defending in this match. Mongaillard, the big fellow trying to burrow away down the middle. Again, Dumas starts it going. They're working this ball out nicely, and coming inside, the wingman Ratier in for a really popular try here in Avignon. Hugh Ratier from Lesignan, has got the try, and it's no more really than France have deserved over the last few minutes.
No, they showed a lot of enterprise, and they've scored well because they do back up to the man and they do pass well, although there was some hint of a forward pass in that actual try-scoring move. But I mean, apart from that, Great Britain must tighten up more in defence. They move the ball well. And this perhaps a little forward, but nonetheless, the man was there picking it up, and where was our defence?
And if the kick goes over, France will be right back in this one. This to make it 14-18, which is what it is. So Dumas has his kicking boot on just when he needed it. Out for Edwards, Hanley, Hampson. And Paul Dixon. He really does barge into them and gains another 4 or 5 yards. Waddell still running strongly and gets the ball away in the tackle yet again. Edwards now. Hanley, chances here perhaps. Platt had support on his left from the substitute Creaser, who's involved here now. David Creaser from Leeds. And good support again from Paul Dixon. He really is so strong. And Hanley again going for the line, and they won't stop him this time. Ellery Hanley's in. He was caught at the last gasp as well there. But Ellery Hanley over for his 13th international try and his 25th of the season. And it's a good one. It's come at the right time.
It really has come at the right time, because this is when we're under pressure. There's only 4 points difference in the side, but it's that straight running of Dixon. When he comes onto the ball, he really mortals well, and Hanley, up like a good half-back should be, takes it on, and no one can catch him. An excellent try, just at the right time.
It seemed to me that Pons caught him as well, and David Creaser tacks on 2 more points. And so it's now France 14, Great Britain 24, and the game surely is won and lost. Ratier to BNS. But it's been a much improved French performance, I think we do have to say that. Malcolm Reilly might be disappointed with some of the mistakes that Great Britain have made. But they're certainly going to win here. Ponce. They won't get him into touch. Head down, strong as an ox, this chap. And again, they're moving that ball around. They've been willing all afternoon to throw the ball around and look for the openings. And it's been a hard-working display from Tisser, the French prop forward as well. Little kick from Espugnat. Oh, and it didn't quite come right. It might do now. Oh, it came out of the French hands for Steve Hampson. The French once more disappointed, but they've got a penalty, and they've got to run it now, of course. So Dumas will set them up. And of course, another try for the French now would make it look all that more respectable. Des making no headway at all there. There's the substitute, Gestar. Now, Espugnat and Mongaillard. Tackle is a good one from Hanley. But certainly the French have got a chance here. They might have an overlap on the left-hand side, but the interception is by Gary Schofield. Schofield herring away. He's going to go all the way. This is magnificent from Gary Schofield once more. The determination on his face, and he'll flop over in that corner. Chased all the way by Ratier, and that is again typical Gary Schofield.
Well, you just can't give this man any opportunities at all. I mean, the opposition can't, and he most certainly made the most of that one. But that was a good feature of Great Britain's play, in that was the sheer fact that we were tackling people and we were closing down the French. You watch the way we close them down, and that's much better. That they were then forced to throw a wild pass on the outside, and Gary, as alert as ever, world-class centre as he is, strides away for this superb try and really the final nail in the French coffin. He knows he's in, and he scores an excellent try, and that really does seal France's fate.
David Creaser looks to convert. Oh, that's a real flopper. Well, Gary Schofield looked shattered at the end of that run, not surprisingly, but his try has given Great Britain a record-winning margin here as the final whistle goes. They've beaten France by 28 points to 14. And worthy winners, no doubt.
They were worthy winners. A lot of mistakes were made. Great Britain have a lot to do, but you can always put things right when you're winning matches, and so it's important. They've come to France to do a job. They've won by one of the biggest margins for an awful long time, and that's important to Mal Riley. And the players now will have a lot of strength from this and look forward, I hope, to the return match and then down to the hard work ahead for the tour to Australia.
This is how it finished, with those 2 tries in the first half from Des Drummond and Gary Schofield, and then another from Schofield, plus tries from Martin Offiah and Ellery Hanley in the second half. There were 3 goals from Paul Loughlin and 1 from David Creaser. A very comprehensive victory indeed for Great Britain here in Avignon. Looking at the statistics of the game, Kevin Beardmore is the #1 hooking contender for Australia. He won today's scrums 14-10, including 2 against the head, so he did his job well again. Surprising, because these matches have a reputation for being a bit niggly. There were only 11 penalties in the whole game, Great Britain conceding 6 of them. There were, though, an alarming number of errors. The French flair was interspersed with no fewer than 33 handling mistakes, and Britain's 22 drop passes will give Malcolm Reilly plenty to think about. A week on, we've been joined by Great Britain coach Malcolm Reilly. You've had time to reflect, Malcolm. What do you think you've learnt?
Well, John, we've learned a sight more than we were provided with before the game against France. But we had no details whatsoever on their game or individual players. To be honest, the French was a very enthusiastic, determined team, far better than last year. We missed a lot of opportunities. We didn't perform particularly well as a side, but I've now got a basis to go forward from.
Well, I'd like to bring in David Watkins at this point. We commented, David, about the fact that some good tries were scored, but there were a few too many mistakes.
Yes, I think so, but I think, as Malcolm said, it was a record win in France, and it's just a little more discipline, I think, in defence, and as he rightly says so, they put together the players at the moment. To get them to play as a team is difficult, and we mustn't take anything away from France, who contributed quite a bit to the game and made it very exciting and made it difficult at times for our players.
You have made 1 or 2 changes, Malcolm, bearing in mind the test match next weekend at Headingley. Isn't this a bit of a kick in the teeth for 1 or 2 lads like Martin Offiah, for example, who's been left out?
No, it's not, John. I emphasised to the media when I made this decision that it wasn't actually being dropped. I was just I'm still in the assessment stage, and although I'm particularly pleased with how the forwards are coming along, there is room for improvement in the 3 quarters, and I'm looking at other options. And so Martin, he played quite well. He's nothing to worry about. He has featured in 2 of the 3 representative games so far this season. And I just want to have a look at some new faces.
David, you've seen a lot of rugby league this season. How encouraged are you that we're going along the right lines for Australia?
Very encouraged. We've got a lot of disciplined players. We've got a lot of good forwards. We've got a lot of good backs, and some of them are world class. And I really think that once they are organised and go down under, and that's the difference when you're out there and having to train under those conditions and know what type of opposition you're up against, I'm sure that we have the players to give Australia more than a run for its money.
Malcolm, obviously you've got to be optimistic, and so have the players, but how close are we to getting a side to beat Australia?
Well, it's important, John, that we take the right 26 players over there in the first place. This is why, at this point in time, I'm making sure that we see as many faces as possible. We're right, I didn't perform very well as a team in France, but this is the contribution which we will make when we get over there. We will develop a good team spirit and a good understanding, and I feel that we're well on the way. We have some top-class players, forwards and backs. Young Steve Amston at fullback there is a superb world-class player, as our pack is with Medley, Powell, Beardmore, Ward, and of course when Crooks comes back into contention, then we'll have a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah. Thanks very much indeed for joining us, Malcolm. I know you've enjoyed yourself at Leeds in Castleford today, haven't you?
I have, certainly, yes. Unfortunately, it went Leeds' way, but...
You're still smiling?
Yes, of course.
Thanks very much.
So now a full check on today's Silk Cut Challenge Cup first round results. Dewsbury 10, Widnes 38, and the championship leaders never really broke sweat. Martin of Fire got his 26th and 27th tries of the season. Doncaster 18, Batley 10. Featherstone 32, York 21. Fulham 4, Mansfield 16. Heworth 4, Halifax 60. Easy for the holders. Wilf George got 4 of their 11 tries. Tony Anderson chipped in with 3, and there were 2 for Great Britain man Paul Dixon. A mention, though, for Phil Sturdy, who scored Heworth's try in the last minute. Hull Kingston Rovers 14, Carlisle 6. And Rovers had Wayne Parker to thank here. Until his second try midway through the second half, there were only 2 points in it. Hunslet 10, Hull 27. A bruising battle this. The boot of Gary Pearce helped earn him the Man of the Match award, and the First Division class told in the end. Keighley 30, Workington 4. Leeds 22, Castleford 14. A titanic battle this. Cass coming back from 16-4 down to 16-14, but Paul Medley completed a hat-trick of tries in the last 5 minutes to see Leeds through. Leigh 12, St Helens 22. Disappointing for Leigh, who led 10-6 at half-time with tries from Kerr and McCulloch. Phil Vivers was the man of the match as Saints came back strongly, and Mark Elia picked up 2 tries. Rochdale 6, Barrow 4. Runcorn 6, Springfield 8. Salford 16, Swinton 6, and this after Swinton led 6-4 early in the second half. Worrell and Austin, the Salford try-scorers. Wakefield 10, Sheffield 14, a real ding-dong battle. Mick Cook's late try snatching victory for Sheffield. Warrington 17, Oldham 6. Warrington gaining revenge for their John Player defeat, but it was close until Mike Gregory's try right at the end sealed the victory. Tony Humphreys and Keith Holden also getting tries. Just the one second division result today, but quite a game. Huddersfield 16, Whitehaven 16, and Whitehaven came back there from 16-0 down at half-time.
Well, while the big clubs naturally get most attention, it should never be forgotten that today's stars all had to start somewhere. So this morning we went looking for Rugby League's internationals of the 90s. Milford under-13s from Leeds were playing Sedberg Boys from Bradford.
Don't let us down, we're playing for Bradford today, OK? Don't forget it. Get out there, 100% from you, OK? 100% from everyone here.
No silly passes and ship it out to these wings. First and second receivers, Mark Rinchuk, where are you? Mark Gibson, and then I want you outside, Andy, third man. All right, acting half-backs. Again, it's going to be you, you've got to get there sometime, and Matthew Kennedy. All right, Matthew. All right, go to it and enjoy it. Go on.
Come on, let's have a good wing.
Word had reached us that one of the Milford boys in particular may be heading for a big future. Andrew Corbett is the name. He's already in the Yorkshire team, and in 12 games this season before today, he'd scored 39 tries, as well as kicking 24 goals in the last 6 matches. Milford have 3 other county players in the under-13 side: standoff Mark Rinchuk, scrum half Matthew Kennedy, and hooker Mark Gibson. They also have a loyal band of followers. How do you enjoy your Sunday morning rugby here?
Lovely, marvellous. Funniest thing, all these lovely kids running about and enjoying the same.
Is it the highlight of your week?
Sunday, yeah, Sunday. I love coming with kids. I go watch first team Saturdays and sometimes do second team on Saturdays, but now, the Sunday morning, no. The children are about enjoying the same. I think it's great.
Is it your own son who's playing?
It is.
Which one is he?
Oh, I'm not telling you, Mary.
Is he good?
No, but he loves it.
Yeah.
They give 100% commitment, and that's what it's all about at this age.
What's he like on a match day? Do they all get very excited?
Oh, yes. I mean, more on a Sunday than yesterday when they were at North and seeing them lose.
Yeah.
Their own day is much more important.
And what do you have to do, to encourage him?
Virtually give up your life.
Really?
Yes, I mean, it's training days, you can't do anything else. Match days, you can't do anything else. But I'd rather have him on here than up to mischief somewhere.
Yeah. Does he want to go and play professionally?
It's probably a dream, but there's not a lot wrong with dreams.
Does this take you back to your early days?
It most certainly does. I mean, I can imagine how excited the young boys are at playing at this level, and no doubt seeing some of the performance here this afternoon that they too will be in their name in lights in a few years' time. There's a couple of very impressive guys here today.
I think the other important thing to remember as well is that while one side is perhaps a little younger, they've got some very small players, that almost doesn't matter. The result almost doesn't matter. It's actually playing that's important.
Well, the nice part of it is pride of performance is still important to these young lads, and that's what the game's all about, really.
70-0, yes, but the result was almost unimportant, and I wonder, have we seen another international star of the future today?
So we've seen try-scoring action tonight from both ends of the rugby league scale, from the juniors at Milford to the Test stars in Avignon. And from both there is surely hope for the future. Until next week, a very good night to you.